Now, this latest tariff threat is also a serious concern in Alberta. Well, energy is our largest export to the United States. Alberta beef and dairy producers are also potentially at risk.
Charging us over 200% for dairy products, 250%, 270% tariff.
Fact-checking Trump's claims that Canada has 300% tariffs on U.S. dairy. In less than 48 hours, over 200 containers of American cheese, worth nearly $3 billion, were flat-out rejected by Canada, sent back to their country of origin like piles of discarded goods. A 300% tariff activated by Ottawa instantly turned every ton of U.S. cheese into commercial waste, uncompetitive, unsellable, and unable to cross borders. And just like that, hundreds of tons of cheese, once removed from foreign supermarket shelves, are now flooding the U.S. domestic market, slapped with discount labels. But in truth, they're old stock, near expiration, and previously rejected by the international market. On Wisconsin farms, desperate farmers are dumping milk down the drain. At Walmart, Target, and across major retailers, a full-blown price war is underway. Meanwhile, the White House remains completely silent, as if nothing just happened. This isn't just a tariff retaliation. This is a slap in the face to American agriculture, where U.S. consumers have unknowingly become the final dumping ground for products the rest of the world doesn't want. Things are spiraling fast. Coming up next, how this mess is about to get even worse. Guess who lit the match? The self-proclaimed deal maker, who gave us Trump steaks, Trump University, and now, apparently, Trump Cheese Disaster 2025 TM. It turns out that ramming through a trade war with zero understanding of quotas, international policy, or frankly, basic economics has consequences. Who knew? The 300% tariff Canada slapped down wasn't random. It was baked right into the rules of USMCA. A deal Trump himself bragged was a historic win for American farmers. Yet somehow he forgot to mention that going over the export limit would trigger a massive penalty. It's almost like he never read the thing. Not surprising from a guy who once asked if we could nuke a hurricane. So when the US started shipping cheese like it was an end-of-season clearance at Mar-a-Lago's gift shop, Canada did what it warned it would do: dropped the hammer. And now, those rejected cheese containers, cheddar, Gouda, and every other sad block of dairy despair are coming back home, like boomerangs of bad policy. The irony? Trump once told rural America, "I love farmers," then proceeded to throw them under a literal milk truck. Farmers in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, the very states that handed him the presidency in 2016, are now dumping gallons of unsold milk while their barns echo with the sounds of bankruptcy papers being shuffled. And while American cheese piles up in discount bins, guess who's silent? The same administration that said trade wars are easy to win. If this is winning, then Dairy Queen's about to become a federal relief center. The truth is, this wasn't just a tariff misfire, it was a full-blown policy faceplant. Another example of Trump's economic strategy, which somehow always ends with the American taxpayer holding the bag. And in this case, a bag full of rotting cheese. These aren't patriotic deals. They're diplomatic rejects. Cheese that's been aged not for flavor, but because it sat in shipping containers too long while Trump's tariff tantrum played out like a bad episode of The Apprentice International Trade Edition. No warning labels. No disclosures, no apologies. Just a silent dump of near-expired cheese into the American food system. The same administration that screamed about food safety and made in America now has you eating cheddar that Canada literally turned away like it was radioactive. And while Canadian dairy products go through rigorous controls, no RBST hormones, no antibiotics, batch testing, and farm-to-fridge traceability, the U.S. system under Trump lowered the bar so far, it's practically underground. Cheese that failed to meet international standards? Toss it into American supermarkets. Who's going to notice? Well, We do. And the kicker? Most of this garbage dairy isn't even cheap in the long run. Sure, you pay less now, but you're also bankrolling the collapse of your own food system. Trump's easy-to-win trade war has racked up $7 billion in losses for the dairy sector, as of mid-2025 alone. That's not fake news. That's the National Milk Producers Federation waving red flags while Trump's team hides behind golf carts and Truth Social posts. Corporations like Kraft and Land O'Lakes are drowning in costs, warehouse fees, cold storage overflow, shipping chaos, and they're panicking harder than Trump's legal team on indictment day. Meanwhile, farmers are still dumping milk and praying that someone in D.C. notices them before election season kicks in. And what's the official White House response? A silence so loud you can hear the sound of spoiled mozzarella hitting the clearance rack. Wisconsin, once Trump's beloved dairy heartland, is proposing handing out surplus cheese for free. Because hey, if you're going to destroy an industry, at least let people eat the ruins. A cheesy version of let them eat cake, brought to you by supply chain collapse and policy neglect. At this point, we've moved beyond melted cheese. What's unraveling here is an entire food system, while the guy who triggered it all is out ranting about windmills and rigged cheddar. The consequences? They've gone international. It's not just Canada anymore. The European Union, Japan, and Australia, some of our closest allies, are now reviewing whether to tariff U.S. dairy too. According to the European Commission, $72 billion worth of U.S. exports are on their maybe we'll slap tariffs on this too list. That's how deep the arot goes. And at home, the American people are being served the leftovers literally. Cheese that Canada, the EU, and other markets flat out rejected as being sold in bulk, with no warning labels, no transparency, and no oversight. But hey, maybe if we slap an American flag sticker on it, Trump will call it the best cheese big league. Here's the real tragedy. Trust is unraveling. Consumers are now wondering, are we eating safe food? Or are we just the cleanup crew for failed trade deals? Even now, no stimulus, no reform, no emergency food safety plan, just crickets. Because let's be real, this cheese fiasco, it's not just about dairy, it's about governance, competence, and who pays the price when the cameras turn off. Spoiler alert, it's not Trump. And unless someone has the courage to reverse course, fix the damage, and stop using farmers as political props, the cheese scandal of 2025 won't just be a headline, it'll be a warning label for the next generation.